Tony D and Little Joan in the background, and this is your screenwriter's rant on 3 trailers that don't really give you enough story to know if they're any good. The first one is Winter Island, then The Paradox Effect, and then In Vitro. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. The links are in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys, books 1 through 15. Available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. Support the channel, buy a book. Thank you for buying the books, by the way. Quick note, thanks to all came out to Preferred Care in Absecon, New Jersey today for my 2 o'clock talk on how to hunt the Jersey Devil. I will be at the Franklin Township Senior Center tomorrow at 12:30 for another talk. The 9th, Friday, the Bay Shore bivalve talk at the Bay Shore Center there has been moved to next week. Next week. It's going to be August 16th instead of the 9th because there's a big storm coming. They're worried about the storm. So look for that same time except next week. So make note. Anyhow, Winter Island. So there's a mysterious island and a girl disappears on it. And then her brother tries to find her. And that's about all we know in this trailer. It's only a minute and a half long. But what they show is a religious guy who's like way too religious, like movie over the top, oh my god, religious, casting out demons and obviously just crazy. Is he the bad guy? We don't know. I mean, it's a creepy shot, I'll give you that. Why is it called Winter Island? Why did the girl disappear? They don't tell us. They don't tell us. And I would say it's a bad trailer. It's a little too short. Doesn't really tell you what the synopsis is. Look, you could say a synopsis without giving away the damn story. So let's look it up on the IMDb, see if... there it is, Winter Island. When a young girl is found dead on a small wooded island, her teenage brother's post-mortem visions point to an evil presence within their own family. Okay, that, give us, at least give us the players in this tale. Director Tony Dupe, writers Clark Coffey and Chris Joseph Taylor. Yeah, you got to have a better trailer than this. This just doesn't do it for me. That one of the family is suspect. We should know all the family members. That's, you know. Or we should get sound bites about, the various family members and who might have killed her or wanted to kill her or done something like that. Just that a teenage boy goes to look for his sister on an island, that's not enough. Give us the sinister portion of it. Don't bury the lead. So I guess it's a horror movie. First act, she disappears. Second act, he goes and looks for her, but it turns out it's one of his own relatives, and then it's probably the person you least suspect. So maybe the super ultra religious guy is the red herring. He's just crazy and weird, and then another guy killed her. I don't know. Kind of hard to tell from the trailer. I wouldn't want to know the killer if that's the mystery, but give us something a little more. Next up is The Paradox Effect, starring Olga Kurilenko as a woman who gets caught up in criminality because she happens to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. This guy ends up taking her hostage, and then she has to drive him around. Turns out his son has been taken hostage, and he doesn't really want to be doing this. By Harvey Keitel is the bad guy, by the way. And then they end up taking her daughter hostage, and so they have to work together to defeat the mobsters. So they team up. Initially, he's taking her hostage, and then by the end, they're teaming up to go get Harvey Keitel. It looks exciting. I'm not exactly sure. It's something to do with drugs. And why is it called the paradox effect? What does that have to do with a paradox? Written by Samuel Bartlett and Andrea Ivervolino and Fernando Del Omoma. So 3 people wrote this movie, directed by Scott Weintraub. It doesn't look bad, introducing Alice Astons as Lucy. I assume that's the daughter. And Harvey Keitel is one of the cast, so he seems to be in it a lot, I'll say. It doesn't look bad, but like it's not clear what's going on. I guess it's drugs. He does mention drugs and money. It just seems to be, and they're taking a lot of hostages just to get their money. Like, drug dealers normally don't have to take a lot of hostages to do what they do. But, you know, it's a movie, so you can forgive it. And I think you know what's going to happen. First act, he takes her hostage. He does some terrible things. And then, you know, she finds out that he's got to get this money, that they have his son hostage, and he's a cop. And so second act, she teams up with him in order to help him. They cut off a dude's finger here. And then they eventually take her daughter hostage. And then she definitely wants to be involved. And so they take down the mob. And the third act, they have a shootout with Harvey Keitel. And they win. So, I mean, that looks pretty standard. But I don't know. I don't know what country it's in. Which is a little odd. Like, generic mobsters kind of don't work for me. I'd like to know, you know, a little more details about the criminality portion of it. You know, is it the mafia or is it some organization? You know, is it the Russians? Is it in Europe? Is it in the United States? Give us that much. Give us that much. Again, no synopsis. Let's see. Here it is. It's made last year. An ex-junkie witnesses a murder. She is forced to cooperate with the killer to save her daughter's life. Oh, that didn't come across at all. She must fight time, the police, and criminal underworld to save the only person that means something to her. So she's a junkie? Well, that's kind of an interesting wrinkle. Should have shown more of her being a junkie. That would have been interesting. You know? Like, if she had gotten caught up in this as she was shooting up, that would have been kind of interesting. And that that's pretty cool. She hides in the trunk and shoots some gangsters. And she sort of gets sober during the course of this action movie. That's a wrinkle you should have added to this trailer. Should have been a soundbite about it. Anyhow, victim number 3 of my harsh criticism is In Vitro. I think it's an Australian movie about a couple that lives on a farm, and I think the husband is doing unspeakable experiments to the cows, possibly to her. I'm not sure if they have a kid or not, or if they lost a kid, but he's doing it to make money. I'm not sure. They seem to imply a lot more, but they never tell you in the trailer. So I don't know what kind of unspeakable experiments he's doing. Directed by Tom McKeith and Will Howarth. Written by Will Howarth, Talia Zucker, and Tom McKeith. Again, could have used some more information. Like, is he making monsters? Is he doing something illegal? Like, it implies he is. See, she's pregnant in one scene, but then she's not pregnant in other scenes. And then there seems to be some tension in their relationship, but it's not clear who the F they are and who owns the farm and what their deal is. Are they married? I guess they are. And there's just a lot of running scenes. It's not really clear. Again, there seems to be something here, but I don't know what. Oh, and here we go, right up right here. Layla and her husband Jack live in a remote cattle property hundreds of miles from the nearest town. Over the years, the ongoing climate crisis, oh God, has had a devastating impact on the agricultural industry, and Jack has been working on an alternative process for breeding cattle. However, it's been a lonely existence on the farm, and Layla and Jack's once loving relationship is not what it used to be. While Jack spends his days tending to the livestock and experimenting with new biotechnology, Layla pines to be with her son Toby, who is away at boarding school. One night, everything changes when a blackout occurs across the property and Jack is attacked. When Layla inspects his wounds, Jack assures her that everything is fine and that it was just an accident with the cattle, but something doesn't add up to Layla and she cannot shake her worry. As Layla starts to search the property to investigate further, Jack's behavior grows increasingly controlling until Layla discovers a disturbing presence on the farm. That is too long a synopsis. That is way too long. Let's see if the IMDb has a shorter one. On a struggling cattle farm some years in the future, key component there, a woman discovers unsettling consequences of her husband's animal breeding technology. There you go. That's much better. Much better. The one on the video, no bueno. No bueno. It's too complicated. The stuff about the lonely existence and all that, that's important in the movie. But that's not important to say the synopsis. We want to get to what the hell this is. There's not even a scene of the monster in this, and there's some sort of mutant monster on the farm. Tell us there's going to be a mutant monster. People who want to see a mutant monster will then go see the film. People who don't want to see a mutant monster don't want to go see the film and then, oh, this is about a monster? I never saw that coming. Like, that's weird. It kind of undermines the film for them because they didn't want to see a monster movie to begin with. You got to kind of classify films where they belong, especially for the audience. They're making up their minds. Am I going to see a movie? Do I want to see a monster movie? This sounds almost like a drama about a couple on a remote farm and their various problems. That would skew female, and I promise you most females don't want to see a monster start killing people halfway through the movie. They want to know about the relationship. Some of them do, but it's rare. So yeah, boy, 3 trailers, 1, 2, 3, not so great. All right, let's rank these. So we got Winter Island, Paradox Effect, and In Vitro. Who would be on the bottom? Well, it's definitely between Winter Island and In Vitro. I gotta say Winter Island because it sounds kind of boring. And it's either very ham-fisted red herring or very ham-fisted sort of straight up, it's a religious guy. So yeah, I'm not really enthralled by this. I like the look of it, but I kind of have no interest in it. In Vitro would be second. At least there's a monster in it, but man, I had to dig to find out that information. But I have a feeling they downplay it. Maybe that's why it's not so prominent in the synopsis. And finally, number 1 would be The Paradox Effect. It sounds like it could be a decent crime drama. I just think they needed to cut a different trailer here to kind of emphasize, the crime, number 1, and that the main character is a junkie. Like, that to me is the most interesting aspect of this. You got plenty of revenge crime things, but the fact that one of the characters is a junkie and could maybe at the end of this movie go right back to being a junkie, which would be a sad but kind of cool ending. She saves her daughter, but she can't save herself. Oh, that'd be brutal, but it'd be amazing. Or you get this happy ending where, it's almost like the action adventure saved her from the drugs. Like, now that she's killed a bunch of gangsters, she can also conquer her addiction. I mean, it wouldn't be as realistic as the other one, but that wouldn't be bad either. So I think you're missing a boat on advertising the right thing. You want to advertise the different thing in your movie. This is kind of a movie, they make a lot of these movies. That's an aspect of it that's unusual. So always lead with your best foot forward. screenwriters. And that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. Check us out on the other sites. I think I'm definitely on the green site. I'm definitely on the orange site. I think I'm on finally today back on the black site, but we'll see how it goes. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in the next one.